What's up, y'all? We got a little more noise rock happening on this one. Today's guest is Sam Hutchinson, who is the drummer of Kansas City's band BUMMER, the BUMMER band. He's the drummer of BUMMER, the BUMMER drummer. We got into all kinds of cool stuff, including just loving the lineup of the present run they're on with Whores and Wrong, as well as working at C&C Drum Company, his freaky 28 by 12 inch bass drum. This is for all you drum dorks out there. Not shitting your pants on the gig versus not trying to psych yourself out on the gig. One of those stories is mine. The other one is his. Manly dads, of which he has one. His love early on in life for Slipknot, and working with producer Justin Mantooth, who I've also worked with. It's all in there, kiddos. It's a grab bag of awesomeness. So here we go. Crash, bang, boom! I'm here with the drummer of BUMMER, Sam. What's happening, dude?
Not a lot, man. Just played St. Vitus, Wrong and Whores are playing soon, and that's always a treat, The this month run has been real nice because, it's never a boring set, It's always, loud, heavy bands.
Absolutely.
Every night.
Oh, y'all fit in like a glove.
It's so weird because,
Perfect, it's like three bands that were made for each other.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I was worried about I was I don't know how touring with these guys is gonna be, but from day one we were all just homies.
Yeah.
We all got along so well, and that's made this, experience so positive.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just really cool to just have this group of people that are, together.
Absolutely.
Doing this.
No doubt. Is this one of the first have you done much touring, or is this one of the longer ones that you've done, or?
This is definitely the longest one we've done. In the past, couple of years we've done, self-book tours.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah.
And this is kind of our first real everything's booked at a venue.
Yeah.
Kind of tour, and Whores, really took us under their wing and just said, let's do it, so of course we said yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our longest one.
Nice, man.
Sure.
And you said y'all are doing like a month or so of it?
Yeah. It was, we left May 11th, but I think the first show is May 12th to June 12th.
Nice.
So that's, it's still a long excursion, but
absolutely.
I'm excited.
How do you balance that in your life when you go back? Y'all are obviously from Kansas City. What do you have going on when you get back? How do you sustain yourself? What do you got? How does it happen?
Job wise?
Yeah.
I work at C&C Drum Company, and they're
killer.
they're super cool about me going out and playing drums.
That's
and,
awesome, man.
I can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
And Mike's off and Matt got off from work. Matt works at a record store, Mills Record Company, and Judy's great and let him do it. So we're all coming from a supportive.
That's killer.
Home standpoint.
The bass drum that I was talking to you about earlier, did you get that modified there? And if so, tell people what's going on with that bass drum of yours.
Okay, so I started working at C&C Drum Company when I was 19.
Yeah.
And I was sweeping the floors and shipping drums, and I just stuck around through it. And,
really?
Yeah, and I as time passed, I started learning how to build drums, and that was the second kit that I built. Just because I wanted to, I thought, big drums, oh cool, but they're not exactly the loudest. You'll see a guy come into a heavy show with a 20, 12, and 14.
Right.
And they'll be so much louder than the guy with a huge kit.
Right.
But the 28 was kind of a weird thing because a sales associate at the time wanted one, and I just said, hey, if we order this shell, let's just cut it in half. You take half, I'll take half.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's a duplicate bass drum out there.
Yes, but we both wanted shallow kick drums because we'd been around for long enough to know that like a 14 by 28 is just a little too deep and it sounds way too open. If you cut that 2 inches, it makes so much difference. You know, like there's so much more attack. You know, it's not like you're hearing a huge boom. It's really concentrated in.
That is bizarre. So you're playing it. It's 28 by 12.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. And then you had to cut the bearing edges and do the whole thing.
Yeah, and like that was back when like, you know, like I was still diving in because like that kid's like 4 years old. So like, you know, like the guys at the shop helped me out, you know, here and there, kind of like giving me pointers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just it was such a weird thing because, you know, I didn't expect to be playing it for this long. And it's just so cool that it's lasted, and I have still.
No, it's killer. When I saw you set it up, I was like, I just want to know what's going on with this because this is such an interesting setup.
Yeah,
and I thought it sounded great.
It's kind of weird, you know, but it works, and like that's why I haven't really built anything else that I play out, just because there's just, you know, like I could build something that's a little more traditional, but to me, like, you know, this just fits just like the way I play a little better. So, you know, I've stuck with it, and you know, it's always kind of interesting. You know, everyone's kind of like, oh my God, you know, the thing's huge, you know, but yeah, it just works.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. You sounded like you were having a couple of technical difficulties throughout the night or whatever. But from my perspective, I couldn't tell it all, which is interesting, and it actually made me think about it a little while ago, and I was like, I think despite how you can kind of psych yourself out during a gig, at some point the muscle memory will still carry you through it, despite the fact that intellectually you're like going through this like cyclical weird thing.
See, and like that's so weird because like that's completely true.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so weird because, you know, like obviously like being here at St. Vitus, you know, it's sold out, and you know, like I looked out and I just kind of went, whoa, like this is real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is actually like what it feels like. You know, like people talk about, you know, feeling like, you know, having dreams about like, you know, you're like naked in front of the classroom.
Yeah.
You know, like that was definitely one of those moments.
That's not a recurring dream for you, is it?
Fortunately, no. But
we can talk about recurring dreams in a little while. I'm sorry.
I mean, we can dive into my personal life. Trust me, I'm totally okay with that. But no, it's definitely crazy because, like, you know, the muscle memory usually takes over.
It does.
And
despite you psyching yourself out, from the audience perspective, it's often a different thing, unless it completely train wrecks.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm so happy then. Yeah, it was, you know, it was an experience. It was definitely like a really cool experience, despite my own head, you know.
Oh, and by the way, we didn't even mention what happened. Your bass drum beater flew off of your pedal, right?
Yeah, it kind of just decided to take off, and the best part of the song, you know, or right when it got heavy. So, I mean, the whole song's heavy.
No bass drum. Yeah.
Yeah,
that sucks.
you know, it's kind of everyone turns their head and goes,
Right.
You know, he's missing something up there, and I definitely looked out and saw the faces, and you know, I went, oh, yep, I'll fix this here in a second. Just
definitely during a song, not gonna stop this. Got to roll with it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
rough.
Exactly, but like the whole like 20 seconds of having no bass drum but still playing, it's just like the most awkward thing. But you know, like I said, it's an experience, you know, because like that's how people get better, you know, like as far as like, you know, actually touring and playing gigs and making sure that everything's on point.
Right, exactly.
Because, you know, like,
yeah, you'll learn the hard way. It's the only way you're gonna learn anyway.
Exactly, and you know, like it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Sure.
But you know, all in all, it's, you know, it's just practice.
Absolutely.
And I work with a guy at C&C, and his motto is, you know, practice makes better. Because, you know, you're never fully gonna get there. It's gonna be like a life journey of just practice.
And then on the opposite side of that coin as well is that the same way you can practice all you want, but if you don't play gigs, then you don't necessarily have the experience of dealing in that environment, and that can throw you off. So it's like there's all sides of it. You just got to do it all.
Yeah, it's really weird how that works, because, you know, you can play in your basement all, like, you know, like I can practice in the practice space on songs and get them down pat.
Yeah.
And the second you get on stage,
No,
and,
chemically
you know,
everything changes. Your sense of time changes, and as a drummer, that's a thing for me that I've even had to like combat a little bit because I'm fucking high strung, and then before a show I'm like bouncing through the ceiling.
and then you play fast.
I'm
you know?
anxiety ridden. I'm playing fucking drums on everything, and then sometimes I even rode my bike to the gig. So then I'm just fucking jacked across the board.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and no, it's cool that you know that yourself, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't have to explain that to you.
Yeah.
You already know. You
Right.
know? It's
But
a
it took
trip.
25 years to figure some of that out. So I've been playing a drum set for 25 years. So it's like, yeah, those are some, you learn it at some point or another.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It's a really cool process.
Let me tell you something, man. If it makes you feel any better, I've got a story for you that is, and I have not said it on the podcast yet, but as far as like weird drum malfunctioning gigs, I got one for you. Ready?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I don't drink coffee, and I just roll out of bed like a zombie, and I just roll through my day confused. I just never started drinking coffee.
Okay.
So did a little tour through Texas and played some shows at South by Southwest a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Drank some coffee because I was just getting tired as fuck. I was like, all right, I'm going to pass out. So I got to drink some coffee. So we play this fucking South by Southwest show. I count off the thing. I step into the bass drum. It's immediately sliding away from me. And at that very moment, I realized I'm about to shit my pants. So it was both of them. I was like, all right, so this is the time where I train wreck the gig and shit my pants to boot. I managed to make it through in just pain, and it was the fucking worst gig I've ever played in my entire life as far as discomfort is concerned. But I made it through it, did not shit my pants, and here I am telling you this fucking ridiculous story right now.
Man, I appreciate you being so honest with me because, you know, I've definitely had that fear because, you know, there was one time where like it was like the song was going off. And, you know, I was, you know, obviously, you know, swinging my head, and then all of a sudden the guts hit me. So I had to make a split-second decision. Am I going to risk shitting my pants, or am I going to run off the stage and just, you know, have it be such a funny / really embarrassing moment? And, you know, I kind of stuck it out. Thank God I was sitting down. But, you know, no, thanks for that because, you know, that's definitely a reoccurring fear.
Dude, I was like... And the craziest thing was I did not have a sense of it at all until I counted off. And then the first time I hit the cymbal, bass drum started sliding away. That was the theme of the whole night. My drum kit. And I was like, of all the nights for my drum kit to be sliding away from me is the night that I also feel like I'm about to shit my pants.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
Dude, you know, hey, like I said, man, life lessons, you know. You know, practice makes better, and you always, you know, kind of learn not to drink coffee or...
Yeah,
you know,
if you don't really drink coffee, it's probably not the best to do before a show, I guess.
That or eat that, you know, big old double cheeseburger with the fries right before you go on because, you know, trust me, it's not going to be worth it.
No. We were talking earlier when I talked to Donnie about weird gigs. Have you had any particularly strange gig that you could think of?
You know, I'm trying to think of one. We've had a couple really, like, funny ones and, like, we've definitely had we've had displaced gigs as far as like, you know, we're not exactly a good fit. You know, we've had tell me Donnie's story because, you know,
Donnie's story is incredible. They opened up for I think it was the Offspring, and they did like 2 weeks in Europe, and he said that they were chanting next band, next band, next band like throughout the entire set.
Oh no. Oh man, that's so lame because his band is so good. You know,
it wasn't with Horrors; it was with his band prior.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. That's I don't know who that band is. If that would have happened to Horrors, I would have been pretty upset.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Horrors. It was one of his previous bands. Okay. It was just a general story about like what awkward gigs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, that would definitely give me a sense of, you know, oh shit, you know, or.
Man, we were talking about, speaking of Kansas City, Shiner, Alan Epley's band, their band, Life and Times. What's up with all those badass drummers? And is there something in the water? What's going on here, man?
God, you know, I can't even begin to, you know, start talking about that because, like, there's a lot of it that I don't know because, you know, I'm like 25. You know?
Are you?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm old enough to be your father.
That's awesome. And you know something? I would have been stoked if you were my dad.
What was your dad like growing up then?
You know, my dad was like, he was, I mean, not was, he's C71, and he was.
Your dad is literally 71?
Yeah.
Are you adopted?
No. I was.
Dude, your dad was shooting. I hate to be graphic, but strong loads in his late age.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
He's a man. You know, he's a manly man, and you know he went to Vietnam. He did that.
Really?
You know? Yeah. He was the gunner on the side of a Huey. But,
are you serious?
Yeah, and you know, but like this was back when he was young and when he had me. You know, he was all into like, you know, America, like the band. You know, that and like the
Not
Meters.
so much Go America, but actually America the band.
Yeah, and you know, like just like, you know, oldies, you know, like
right.
That, like Motown, he loved Motown, so like
it's good shit.
I wasn't really raised on like 80s, like, you know, like heavy 80s music, like, you know, like Poison and like
really,
you know, like like he was never into that.
Yeah.
But, like so like I was.
That was my
generation.
Yeah, that was my.
And that's so rad because like I have a lot of friends that are my age that were like, you know, oh man, my dad loved Anthrax, and my dad.
My parents
idea.
definitely didn't like any of the shit that I was listening to, but I was listening to it.
Okay, well that's fair, but you know, it's just kind of weird because you know like that was constantly what he listened to, so like that's what I grew up listening to.
Oh, interesting.
So when I like first got into like heavy metal, I think the first band I liked was Slipknot. You know, he didn't know how to take that, and it's so funny because I went out and I got Iowa on CD when it came out, and I was young and I was at our family's house in like mid-Missouri.
Yeah.
And my aunt takes the CD from me and turns it around and goes, "Hold on," and looks through the names, and she goes, "Wait a minute, people equals shit." What does that mean? And you know, I was so young. I was like, would you stop making me feel self-conscious about this? Because I really am digging this. Like, please don't make me listen to, you know, like.
That's amazing.
You know, I don't know, man. But like.
I'm not surprised that you were into that. I talked to, do you know Ash Pearson? He plays in Revocation. It's a super shredder fucking metal drummer. He is.
Oh, dude, yeah, his band rules.
He's from Canada. He's a Canadian guy, and he actually mentioned he was like that Slipknot thing. I think y'all are probably close in age.
Yeah.
And he was saying that was a fucking big deal. That record, he fucking loved it.
God, those damn Canadians are always shredders.
I know.
You know.
It's when you live in snowed in, confined places, like what you do is go indoors and you have to consume yourself somehow, right?
I mean, I guess so. You know, I don't know. You know, it's so funny because I'll see a band and I'll just be blown away, and I'll like notice a little bit of an accent. And I'll go like, "Hey, like, where are you from?" Like, Canada. I'm like, "God damn it, another one."
Yeah.
You know,
they're really good.
Yeah,
they're fucking shredders, man, and they're the nicest people.
That's and like that's what kills me.
Right.
Because like, just like the most loving guys.
Right.
That and you know,
they're
like,
the best.
The sarcasm can be like real, and it's so funny, but it's in such a lighthearted manner.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's like, you know, hey, go fuck yourself. Just kidding. You know what I'm saying?
They'll apologize.
No, but yeah, it's totally cool. But like the main thing is like, you know, they're just ridiculous, man. Like they made like Life in Vacuum.
Yeah.
Like that band's ridiculous. Like Sparrows. You know, like they're all great bands. You know, and. I don't know. Canadians, man. Just
it's incredible. But like, I'm from the South and I moved up here, and whenever I meet people that are like overtly nice, I'm like, gotta be Canadian. I feel like I can pick them out because of that, because of like the Northeast kind of, you know, persona or whatever.
Yeah, you know, it's either like one of two things. You start feeling a little iffy about, you know. Thanks, brother. You start to feel iffy, and there's something either weird about this person or they're Canadian, and then it's okay. But like, you know, when you start feeling fishy about like someone's, you know, genuine, like if they're being genuine,
right? Exactly.
And they're too nice. If they're Canadian, it's like, oh, it makes sense.
No, that's the whole thing. It's like you immediately assume like they're about to like they're in it for something. And then they're like, no, they're just nice people.
Yeah, and like that's
deceptively nice, I believe.
It's just really cool. It's like a breath of like fresh air, because you know
it's cool.
You know, like Americans can be really just dicks.
Well, apparently we're the greatest country on the face of the planet, so we've been telling everyone that for a long enough time, at least.
Man, I can't even start to get into that because I don't want to be that guy that's politicking on the podcast. So yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
I hear you, man. It's definitely rough times, shall we at least?
Yeah,
we could say that.
It's definitely been cooler. Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, man.
Going forward, what do y'all have going on beyond this tour? We have a mutual friend / engineer producer that we've worked with in Justin Mantooth. By the way,
yeah.
What a weird fucking last name that is.
I mean,
sorry, Justin, but your last name is just ridiculous.
you know, like you like
Mantooth.
you like hear the name and you think you're gonna like go into the studio with this huge guy who's gonna rip your head off, and like no, it's like just Justin, you know, being like, you know, what's happening.
Yeah.
So like, you know, Mantooth is cool. You know, like that's, you know, it definitely describes, you know, how he can, you know, handle things in the studio for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because he does not fuck around.
Yeah.
You know, and but he's so good. You know, like
absolutely,
we've done 2 records with him, and every time it's just like, you know, it's like that's why we've gone back.
Yeah.
And you know, he's all in all just a good dude. You
absolutely.
know, like as if like, you know, he like let's say he wasn't a good engineer, which he is. You know, like he's just a good dude that you want to be around.
Yeah.
And you know, I could sit here kissing his ass all day.
Well, you know what? I can say this much.
But yeah,
I because I always come up with alternate names for people. By the way, well, I'll start with Justin, I guess. So I was like, oh, Man-Teets. That's just what name popped in my head. So I was like, Justin, what's up, man? What's up, Man-Teets? And he was like, didn't really like it. Yeah, he didn't like it so much.
No, I thought you were about to say Justin Man-Boobs.
Same thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
so is that what y'all did? Y'all did man boobs?
No, I think someone said that to him in the studio.
That's amazing.
And like,
so not the only
like
one.
No, it can be some fun, but you know, he's such a trooper for, you know, just, you know, hanging with it. You know, he never gets never gets too serious, and he never has an ego, and like that's what's cool.
Important.
Oh, it's insanely important. Like he doesn't have his head up his ass. I think Horace is playing right now.
Well, then that means it's time to go, folks.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. All right, thanks to Sam and thanks to Bummer for kicking ass on a great tour with one hell of a lineup. Stick around for Birthday Snake off their recent 12-inch split with Pinko. Get you one. Links in the description. You know where to go. Crash, bang, boom!